Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Okay, so today, I just finished watching the last episode of TonhonChonlatee. Um, and today we're going to do a review, everything wrong with, of the series. I'm so excited because this show was so fun. I'll let you guys know I had a great time reacting to it. If you didn't see my reaction, it is now all live on my Patreon page. Well, by the time this goes up, there'll be 2 episodes that need to be put on there, but other than that, they're all on there now. And once those other ones are finished, they will be up there too. So become a patron, watch the whole show with me. But if you have seen the show, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Now, if you're new to this series, what I do is I review a show by doing basically a character analysis where we're going to go character by character, and I'll give you my thoughts on each of the characters and then my overall opinion on the show as a whole at the end. Now, if you haven't seen the show, this will have all the spoilers, so don't watch this if you haven't seen the show, or if you don't care, you just want to know what happens, keep watching. But also, still become a patron and watch the show with me. Okay? Okay. All right. So I'm on mydramalist.com. I'm going to just go from the bottom to the top of this list. And the first character we're going to talk about is Gunsmile's character. I can't pronounce his name, but his character. Let's see. I do like the fact that, he is one of the gay characters. There seem to be lots of gay folks in this show, and they just state that, and that's just it. I really like how they implemented that. Now, I was feeling bad for him at first because his first assault from Ton was very hate crimey, gay bashy, and I was not with it. He was being creepy. However, that public display of aggression towards him, and he can't be with a man, and all this other crap, was a lot. It was a lot, and I was like, "Wow, Ton, you are gutter trash." Like I can't. However, fast forward to his second situation where he let this girl tell him to go attack Chon in the bathroom. He deserved that butt whooping. He deserved it. Yep, absolutely. The assault on him in the bathroom, it was a lot. Like I was rooting for him, and I'm really was upset that this show had presented the queer characters as such a predatory and gross, and like, we had him, even Mike and Top Tap's character, where they kind of did things to Chon to get him to acknowledge his feelings. Chon himself was kissing somebody while he was asleep. That guy in the beginning, the gay guy in the beginning who was trying to like see what's up with him, they made him all kind of gross and kind of like predatory. I'm like, why? Why? It was giving. It was giving tone deaf. That was not necessary, for especially all the gay characters to be certain ways or doing things that were kind of like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like it was a lot. It was a lot. But I'm glad that he finally got away from homegirl. She was saying a bunch of anti-gay stuff in the middle of the school courtyard, and he was not riding with her. After they got from that, he was like, "Oh, you were saying this about gay folks, but you know about me, and you know my situation. So you talking about them? You talking about me?" She's like, "Oh no, not you. No, 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 no." He was like, "Nah. If you talk about one gay person, it's wrong. It ain't right. They shouldn't do it. You talking about me too. So we ain't friends no more." Bye, Ashy. So I do applaud him on that. I do applaud him on that. I can't get behind him fully because of what he did. However, I'm glad he's trying to maybe on the road to recovery. He's better friends because he did tell her. I mean, it's his own fault for falling up under her, but he did. She let him down this road to do these kind of things. So I'm glad he got her out of his life, and I hope I hope his character, the person that he is, gets better and doesn't do that crap ever again. I hope he learns his lesson. I really do. Next, we have his aunt, baby girl, baby girl. Now, though the whole tired trope of the female characters being villains, she really is that archetype in this show, and for no good reason. She breaks up with Tone, wants to get him back. He's not featuring her no more. She sees Chon as a threat, and she does the goddamn most. For why? I don't know how she thought she was gonna get back with him. She was being rude and disrespectful on a regular basis, trying to comfort Chon every minute she got. His friends, trying to get him drunk, trying to get him assaulted. She was doing a lot. She is vile. She is vile. I don't understand what she thought was gonna happen. What she thought was gonna happen. She told his parents, sending pictures. She was doing the goddamn most for what? For what? And then her hate speech in the middle of the school, Miss Mamas. That wasn't it. That was not it. I don't know why you thought you was gonna get some type of retribution or people are gonna like agree with you. You knew nobody was gonna agree with you. You had to have known. And your best friend is queer and you saying all these things, girl. Anyways, and then at the dinner when she tricked Tone into kissing her, all her friends were like, "Girl, can you? I thought y'all broken up. Bye." All her friends, even her friends, didn't even know what's going on. Really, the group of friends they had, they were like, they probably didn't even like her beforehand. They probably knew how she was beforehand. They was like, "Oh no, ma'am, going somewhere." And it sucks because this actress, she always plays these jerky characters. I heard she's not a jerk in Fish Upon the Sky, but I haven't finished that one. Don't drag me. I might go back to it. I don't know. But I heard she wasn't as bad in that one. However, damn, can she get a break? Why she's always playing these vixen villain characters? I feel so bad for her. Like the actress, not the character. She can kick rocks. Next character we're talking about is Nah. He became a fan favorite for me. Best boy. He became a. I've never seen someone so emotionally intelligent. He is a bit obnoxious and pretty dense of his surroundings of how he's coming across. His like rich boy, I'm better than type of thing. But he also isn't malicious with that. He's just very tone deaf and not realizing he has good intentions, but not realizing he's coming off a bit like, boy, you're dragging us that way because we're poor. And he was very like cocky and conceited, in the beginning, and he really was put it like off putting. However, getting to know his character, which I'm glad they did, we got to know him. He is such a nice individual. He Even though he kept trying to like kick it to Chon, he wasn't disrespectful about it. He brought it every so often. He kept get put in the friend zone. He was like, all right, cool. You know, he had that family with food, the mom and the son. It was so nice. And he made some friends with the friend group, and he even helped Chon and Tong get together. And what's crazy is he was the one because Ton hated him because he was pushing him on his potential man. Ton hated him, and he was the one who he confided in. He talked to about these feelings of these queer feelings he was feeling, and he came through. Even though he was hurting, even though he was sad, he still was the best boy, and he really was a nice guy. Because people who are nice guys, they're nice, but they feel entitled to you because they were nice. He's the opposite. He was nice, and he is just nice because he just cares for the individuals, cares for his friends, and he became my favorite. And at the end, he gave him a boo thing. He got him a boo thing at the end, so I'm really happy for him. I really liked his character. I really how he was comedic, he was goofy and cringy, but like in the best way possible. In the best way possible. Next, we have his Tom's sister's husband, his brother-in-law. It is his name. I don't feel no ways about him. He's fine. He didn't really add nothing to the story. I mean, they got their own little side story, which I was kind of shook that they gave them a subplot. But he was fine. Now it did shed light on certain type of things, mental health and how he feels and how they handle that with the therapists and like they're trying things to make their situation better. I like how they did that. It seemed out of place because these are not main characters, so given their own plot thread, seemed a little like random. However, I didn't mind it. It wasn't too long. It had a good little message behind it, and it was, he was fun. He seems like a good guy. His name is Guy, actually, the actor. A good guy, and it was cool. Next, we have his Tom's sister. I like her. She a queen. Most women in the show are queens, and she's one of them. She intercepted the pictures from Amp for the parents. She was cool. Her brother being with homeboy. She was riding with him, and I really like that. She became an ally. She stepped to her daddy for him on a regular. Like she was like, "Oh no, what you're not gonna do is we're in a new era, with new age. Gay is okay. Like you calm down, daddy." Like she was with it. She was really with it. I'm really with her. I'm really with her. She was cool. She was cool peeps. Now, it sucks that her plot line with her man was like, "Why he ain't busting me down? Is he with a man, a mistress? What's the tea? I just want to know. I'm good, but like I just want to know." But I'm glad that it was just something else besides that. So I'm glad that now now she knows. I'm glad she has clarity. So I love that for her. Next we have is her mother. Mom. I feel mostly indifferent to mom. I feel bad that she had to put up with her husband's shenanigans. He was acting a fool, and she had to put up with it. I love that she didn't go against her son. like that, like the dad did. Like she wasn't really going up for him, but she also wasn't going against him. I guess she wanted to keep the peace. She wasn't like her daughter is the one who's really going in on daddy and kind of like making you let him know, and she kind of she she helped remedy the situation at the end. The whole dad situation, she helped kind of fix it in a way. However, I kind of wish she would have dragged her husband a little more or at all because he was wilding out. He definitely was wilding out, was acting a fool, acting crazy, and she need to. I wish she was kind of like more like pump the brakes, all right, all right. But I guess I understand her situation, her position is. She didn't seem to be against it, but she also wasn't doing enough to kind of mitigate the situation. You know what I mean? Next, we have Queen of Queens, Chon's mother. This woman goes hard for her son, and I have to stand. The way, because here's the thing. Here's the thing. Between her and Pang, his best friend, she was giving hope or hopeful that, her son can fall in love with homeboy. But she was also telling him, if it don't work out with him, oh well, on to the next. You're amazing. You're great. And you'll be lucky to have you. You can find anyone else. You don't need him if he don't want you. You don't need him if he don't want you. I was like, Mama, you would go off. The way and she was so fun. She was just the best kind of ally ever. And like we have to stand her. We have to stand how she was going for her son. Even at the end when she dragged the dad and she went in on him. She went in on him. Yeah, he got a heart attack because of it. However, she didn't care. Well, she did care, but she before that happened, she was like, "Oh no, what you won't do is disrespect my son." That's not what's happening here, and she was not playing with him, and I love that. I love that. I love that she's cool with his best friend. She's cool with Ton. Like I love how she is with everyone, and she's everything. Like she is the best. She is the best, and I have to stand. Now I wish she wouldn't call her son the wifey. Like I need this. The script should have been updated for her to be like, no, you're a husband. He's a husband. That keep it cute. Let's not do all that. But other than that, she's the best. She even told her son like, you were wrong for kissing him, but you weren't wrong for confessing to him. I like that. She told him like about himself like you should never kiss him. Like you wilding out. However, she really was still being supportive of what happened. You know what I mean? So she's everything. Next we have is Tone's father. Um, Obviously he's painted along with Amp to be like the person that's anti-gay and the villain. Like no man can be together. Yada 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 yada. Woo 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 woo. But even with all that, because he was wilding out, he was ridiculous, coming for the best friends, and like understandably so. Tone's best friends, nah, what's her name? Nee and A. They're like family friends. Like he knows them and everything. He's been around them. He's probably like a father figure to them in a way. For him to drag them and say these things about, I was like, okay, all right, daddy, you out here acting a fool, you wilding out. I'm not here for it. Back up. It's a lot. However, his character is like in this show. They're checking the check marks. It's a social commentary, and they use the dad for that. Him saying all these anti-gay stuff and having characters to combat it and say that. Chone's mom, Tone's sister, they were very much soapboxing, speech giving about no, gay is okay, and like you need to calm down. It was very much that, and he was not. I won't say he's a cartoon villain, but he was very like cartoonish in his ways of thinking, and you can tell he weaved in and out of. He was like he had a weird mentality that gay folks can't have kids, so you can't be around them. But he also was not 100% against gay folks because like those I assume are trans women or drag queens that were at the party trying to flirt with Sean. He was like, well, they can't, they're not options for him, but like, so they're wasting their time. But he wasn't like pushing them off and shoving them and saying all these things during that moment. And even then, he didn't want to actually drag his best friends, even though he was dragging them, but he didn't want to. He kept like, hey, it's nothing against you. Like, I just don't want I want my son to have grandkids. And he was trying to calm down, even though he was saying some wild stuff. Now at the end, he ended up coming around because at the end of the day, he's like, oh, they can still have kids. My son's genetics can still. Oh, all right, then y'all be together and have these kids. I'm cool. That wrapped up a little bit too easily, but I'm glad that I guess he was just ignorant on that. He just thought, no, he can't because they're men. They can't have babies. There's no way. There's no way. But they told him about the surrogacy thing, and now he's like, oh, okay, y'all can have kids, and I'm rocking with it. And he came around, which it seemed to happen a little bit too fast, but I'm glad. I'm glad they didn't drag that on any longer than it needs to be. It was like a long. It was literally two parts, three, two and a half actually. But I'm glad he kind of got together and they kind of are working through that, and it's fine. Like I don't hate him. He's doing right by his kids, even though it took this moment to do it. I wish he wasn't. It wasn't. They can give him children, so now he's fine with it. I wish he just realized that his son loved his boy and that he wanted to be with him. I wish that was the narrative, and that he was like, okay, you know what? Let me stop because love is love. But whatever. We got to a common place. We got to a good place finally. Next we have is the bestie Pang. I like her. She was writing for her friend. Now I will say this: she was kind of the opposite of the mom. She was really team Tone the whole time and really was hoping and wishing and waiting for them to get together. And she was giving him hope and every little thing that happened. She was like, oh, it's a potential that he loves you and like he's gonna be with you. And she was very, she wasn't trying to like go a different route with that. She was not trying to go a different route. I was like, girl, I'm with the mama. Like, if it works out, work. If it doesn't, he can find another. There's plenty of fish in the sea. Ain't no way we finna say gung ho on this dude that's been mostly disrespectful most of the time. Ain't no goddamn way. Ain't no goddamn way. And then when he beat up Gun Smile, she was like, oh, but like, yeah, he was wilding, but also, oh my gosh, girl, what? This is a hate crime, and you over here wooing and hooing because it was defending your friend's honor. Pang, baby girl, let's stand up, because no way, no way, no ma'am. I need her to do better. However, I still like her. She's still best girl. She's still cool people. Now, I do think it was odd that she was absent during certain things, like when they went to the mama's house for that weekend on the beach. Miriam was there, but she wasn't. It didn't make any sense. Like it she grew up around them, like, so she it makes sense for her to be there too. It would have, you know, you know what I mean. Like it would have made a lot of sense. And she was one of the people who wanted to make Nabi like the fake boyfriend to kind of make Tone jealous. So why when she in the plans, it was weird that she was absent at different places. But whenever she needed him, well, whenever he needed her, my bad. Ooh, whenever Cho needed her, she was there. Even though he was kind of rude to her that one time, remember? She tried to give him a hug and he pushed her off because he was upset. Like, damn, like she did not deserve that. She really here for your behind, funky self. And you over here pushing her back up. But she's cool, people. I like her. She's the best friend. She's a winner. Speaking of winner, Mim, a queen, a queen. The way she came through, she played a similar role to Pang as a good Judy ally, going up for her boys. So, and she did more. She did more because Pang was a real one trying to help Chong when they were both drunk at the club, and she really was trying to protect him. She was drunk, so she could do much, but the fact she was still drunk and still tried to, she's a queen. Mim, she came through when Amp was at the house harassing Chong, and she came through and knucking and bucking her face. We have to stand. The way she helped the Mike and Top Tap's characters, Fulton, and kind of keep things on the DL, queen. The fact that she was really like she was all about everything, about them, about love is love, and like yeah, we have to stand. And then at the mother loving end, before we saw the scene, they're like, "Who gonna be the one who carry our baby, the surrogate mother?" I was like, "Probably gonna be Mem," because like she obviously, and I didn't know it was gonna be her, and then it was her, and then it was her. Baby girl is paid. She is paid. She finna have a baby, and she got her little. You know what? A queen. We have to say, like, she's the best girl. She is the best girl. Even though having, Ampy like a villain of the story, all the other women in the show, for the most part, are the real MVPs. Give it up, especially Mem, especially Mem. And I love how that we got a little bit of her backstory, and it was mostly telling rather than showing us, which is fine, But I like that we got to know her a little bit more, and she had her catchphrases, her little hand thing, and like how she was, and like it was cool. Like she could have easily been a one-off character like that nail tech lady. She was a one-off character. We didn't see her since, but she really integrated and became. She became the showrunner. She became the top girl. The top girl. Next character we have is Mike's character, Nee. Hilarious. Hilarious. Honestly, honestly, them as a couple on this show, being a couple already, like all from the jump, was kind of refreshing. Having them be a couple since I guess freshman year. Now it would have been cool to get an episode or two, maybe showcasing how they became a couple, how they knew about each other's like orientation and like how they got booed up. We could have got a side story in this. I mean, honestly, so there's some scenes that that really pad the runtime of the show that was unnecessary that lasted too long. I would have replaced that with maybe one half of an episode, like part one and part two of an episode about these two, like their backstory. We don't need a whole series. We can get it done. Like, remember, I don't know if you guys seen Three Will Be Free, but episode five is my favorite episode. It's literally a short film, and it's how the two characters, what are their names? I forgot. It's Joss and Tay Tawan's characters, how they met. The whole episode I love. It was a short film, like I said. It really beginning end. It was going. It was a lot having that one episode that really gave these characters backstory, how they met, into their thought processes, into their lives and everything, how they are. It really gave that. I wish they would have done something similar to these two characters. I mean, that show's a little more serious, so maybe they probably, but they still could have done it. In this show's way of doing it, they still could have done it, and it would have been great. It would have been great. However, even though these guys are supporting characters, they had such a presence. They had their own storyline. They need to keep their relationship on the DL. So you got Mim. They were basically the gay characters to kind of really hammer in the fact that nothing's wrong with their situation. Even though they did feel they had to hide it from their friend and they didn't want to make their friend uncomfortable, they still were also the gay characters kind of represent this the it being normal. Even Mike's character been wanting to tell him from jump, like, okay, this is what's going on. He been wanting to say something to him. He been wanting to say something, which I like. I like the fact that he understood, like he had to like keep it on the low, but also he was like, I'm sick of it. Like you over here wilding out on us on the regular on gay folks. He kept wanting to like, and he was the one who told him later on, like when he eventually said, okay, well, you over here mad at Tom that he gay and he loves you. Guess what? We boot up too. I've been wanting to tell you for a minute now. Moi. Moi. Now I do hate the fact that they had to like I don't want to say they assaulted, but they basically they teased Chong to get him to confess because they knew his tea, and I'm like, oh, why y'all did that way? But it's fine, like it's fine, no harm, no foul, I guess. But he really is the best. He's so comedic and goofy and funny, and I wish they didn't go that whole like plan of trying to get Tone to like realize his feelings and like trick him and like do all these things to make him jealous. But I'm glad he's riding for his friend. He just met Chone and he really is rooting for him, so he really is helping out. They are really like they're the besties for a reason. And the fact that they were gonna move out, they were like, you find out now we gay and we know you don't like gay folks. We finna move out. And Tone was like, no, what makes you think that? You always saying it. You always saying it every day. So you hate gay folks, and we don't make you uncomfortable, so we leaving. Can you believe his friends was willing to do that for him? His funky behind, his friends, his besties, they are the besties, was finna move out. They was finna move out. They was finna move out. And I'm like, whoa, can you imagine? My friends can never. Can you imagine? Like, what? Oh, well. On to his love interest, his love, top tab A. You know what? Also, same in the same boat. They weren't exactly the same character, but they had similar thought processes and similar, he was on board. I'm tricking Tone to liking Chon and then doing the whole thing, but he also was against it. Like, you know what, let's stop, let's calm down. He definitely was one of the voices of reason, one to really stand up for like he dragged Amp at the little when she had her little anti gay speech. He was there to really like, girl, And like he was really, he's a more level-headed one than Mike's character. He's like more impulsive, clearly, because he remember he tried to bust down with him, but it wasn't him, it was Chon. He's less impulsive like than Mike, and I like that. I like the difference between the two, even though they're on the same wavelength. They do complement each other, even though like they're not the same character, but they are so similar to each other, and I see why they work. They complement each other very, very well, and I love that. I love that. Now I wish they, for some reason, they didn't show them kissing. They were affectionate a few times actually, very affectionate with each other, which was great, but they didn't. They every time they went to go kiss, that one episode where they did like twice, they cut away, which is weird. I don't know why. I don't know why. We saw them do that in together. They kissing together. So I don't understand what was the taboo. Was it a censor saying y'all can't be showing Jimmy the gay kisses, or what's going on with that? I don't know. I don't know, but they should have shown it. They should have shown it. Like, come on now, come on now. And I also liked the fact they call each other hun always. Well, at least until after, before Ton found out, and then afterwards. Not when he was in his presence, before before he knew they were like but in between. I love that. It was. All right, next character, Chon. He's one of my favorite protagonists of all the GMTV protagonists, because he was very like hopeful, happy-go-lucky, a bit naive with his heart. He was very kind of. He was a bit passive. He let Tone kind of like run his life, but he also got crunk when he needed to get crunk. He got crunk on amp several times, which I had to stand. I had to stand. He was really in tune with his feelings. He had no problem telling now that he was in the friend zone. Like, look, I ain't, you just use my friend. I ain't going there with you. I'm glad he didn't lead him on. But I'm also glad that he had a heart enough to be his friend, because I know Nah at the beginning was very annoying, and he was like, ugh, but like I'm glad he gave him a chance to kind of be his friend, and he was being a good friend to him, and I like that. I like that. It just he was just the best character. He's so nice and so friendly, and like I just I don't know why. I just thought he was so great. I mean, he was crying a lot about his boy, and I'm like, stand up, forget him, move on to the next. But when he was disrespected by him kissing that girl at that bar, he was not on that BS. He was like, no, no, no. Was he wrong for kissing him when he was asleep? Yes. We're getting past that. He was wrong for that. However, he's still a good guy. That doesn't make his character. It doesn't take away from his awesome character that he was, because of that moment. It was a lapse in judgment. He apologized for it. He was told he was wrong for it, and we kept him moving. However, other than that, the real MVP. Because usually I get annoyed with these meek kind of like characters. They have no backbone. They have no voice, and he does fit that archetype for the most part. However, he doesn't fully fall into that archetype. He's very outspoken, very nice, very he's dancing at the club when he was drinking, he won the dance contest. Like he's not fully shy and kind of like "Ugh," like, you know what I mean? Like he really is the best. Even though I think he should stay broken up with Tom, low key. But if he wants to be with him, I'm rocking with him. All right, give him a chance. Won't give him a chance. I'm gonna rock with him because of you, but don't let him disrespect you again. And he won't. I know. That's why I like him. I know he won't let him play him again. He forgave him. He's rocking with him. That whole speech he gave him worked. He won't let it happen again. He sure won't. He sure won't. And I like that. He's actually one of the best characters I've ever seen. Like, as a main character, I really he's it. Last but not least, Tone. What a piece of work. What a piece of work. I will say, the fact that he's in love with Chon and he riding for this boy so hard, I have to stand on that merit alone. He was not wavering. Like, he kind of wavered slightly when people found out that he was dating him, and like it was like a thing, and people call him like homo and all this stuff at the thing, and he had to like enter a crisis, and he had to go to the beach, and he realized, you know what? he riding for his man because he saw that couple, getting attacked, and he needs someone to like. He saw like how horrible they have it, and he really was not with it, and so he really came through and came back. You know, I really like that. I really respected him for that, and like, you know, at the beginning, obviously he is seen as such an awful character. He's saying all the wrong things. You have to be manly. Two men can't be together, and no men can be dating. Like he just regurgitating what his dad always said. So it was kind of like hard to really rock with him. And then it was really weird because he was always up in Chon's space and being possessive of him. Increasingly so as the show got on, it was a lot. It was so much. I'm like, damn, like you really need to calm down. For someone who ain't with this gay mess, for someone who ain't really trying to be with him, you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot. You're absolutely doing the most, and like being jealous and stuff, and like, no, that's my brother. That's my brother. Boy, and it's been hard to rock with him. Even though I gained some respect for him, it's been hard to rock with him in his thought process. And like, like, yes, his daddy really pumped that to his head. However, this whole realization at the end that he was in love with him this whole time pissed me off. The trope alone of "I liked you this whole time," I hate it. They did a messing together. They've done this in other shows before where the person was really liking them the whole time and really was just trying to fake the funk, fake the thing for what reason. In this show in particular, it didn't make any sense. It retconned so many things. All those moments he knew, and I mean, he was acting like he hated every little thing that he did that wasn't manly, any type of gay thing. He was really bulldozing and going through and acting like the way the whole time. To 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 before the episode, it was him kind of like realize, okay, maybe I do have feelings for him, and like I love the time we spent together, and I was wilding out, and like the moments we had, and like I'm not a fan of that trope either. The whole "I like you now because I'm reminiscing of our hangs out. It's how we hung out with each other." That's a tired trope in itself. That happened in Sodas. They did Sodas and Together's plot lines in this show. Sodas, the whole, well, I guess I like him now because we've shared all these memories, and I know he likes me, so let me try because I do care for him. I'm already not with that, but the fact that he was like, okay, I'm gonna be with you now, it seemed a bit rushed. It seemed a bit kind of like, even though he talked to Ned after punching Ned in the face, which was wild, he was wild for that. But he talked to Ned and kind of realized, okay, these queer feelings, how do I work with this? How do I function? This is weird to me. I like that part of it. I like the part that he talked to someone about it. Like he talked about his feelings and kind of like realized, I'm gonna go with it. I'm feeling these things. I shouldn't be ashamed of how I feel. I feel them. I'm gonna go with it. And he, confessed and was like, "Oh, I like you, Sean. Let's be together." And they busting down. I like that. It was rushed, yes. However, it was more realistic than, "Oh, I loved you this whole time. This whole time I loved you." Because when he confessed to him, he was all upset. He still didn't want to be with him. Yeah, he could have been fighting his demons or something, but if he was really wanting to be with him and did all these things, the whole fitness thing, and pushing him close and laying in his bed and telling him he could live with him, and he's staying in my room, if that was the reason he did all this, why was it such a thing that he told him that he was in love with him? Why was he against it? Why took him getting super 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 jealous? Why was he gay bashing folks? Why was he, you know what I mean? Like it explains the behavior in a way it does. It just didn't make sense. And the mom and them knew, so that's why they moved away. But when their mom and them met Chon as, a young adult, they were like, "Oh yeah, is that same boy your son is in love with that you knew he was in love with that now lives with him? Y'all ain't seen it then." It doesn't make any sense. They retcon the whole ending with that bullcrap. I didn't care for that. Did not care for that. Did not care for that. But it's fine. I'm glad they did a time skip. They have a baby. The dad's fine. They're fine. It's all, whatever the case may be. Work. Work. I'm not his biggest fan. I'm still not his biggest fan. However, I'm leaning more towards indifference to him because at first I did not like him. I don't think none of us did, and I don't love him now. But like it, I'm gonna let you rock because you are riding for this dude. You told your daddy you was dating him. You tell your friend like you really are not letting anyone waver your commitment to him. Kind of because you kiss homegirl, but like you weren't trying to like cheat on him. But it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, that was my thoughts and opinions on the characters. I really enjoyed the show. It was really fun. There's so many likable characters, and there were some scenes that lasted too long or were unnecessary. But I'm glad they had all this commentary and different storylines. Well, not different storylines, but different points of view on things and how they handled the characters. It could have been better. Yes, it could have been. It could have been. This is a BL drama. Like it's what it is, but it's a bit more progressive. It's obviously a PSA, social commentary. Like I said before, like they're going to say the things they're going to need to say. They're going to have the anti-gay characters have their comeuppance or have a epiphany and realize, hey, gay is okay, gay is the way. Let's rock with it. And that's what it was. I'm glad it was only 10 episodes. Good episode count. We don't need 16 episodes. We sure don't. We sure don't. You know. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I really enjoyed the show. People are like cringing and like saying they couldn't finish it or they hate it, which maybe the subject matter of the anti-gay propaganda this show had throughout probably turned you off. But I think that if you're not an ally or queer yourself watching this, that kind of thing could turn you off because you're supposed like if you're just an ally, I guess, if you're just not really knowing how to be an ally, you might think that this type of show, the subject matter and how the characters acted, maybe it's not PC enough for you, so you don't like it because like, oh, how could they say those things? Obviously, it's a commentary. Obviously, these things are horrible things to say. That's the whole point. It's actually a bare minimum message. Honestly, this is surface level type of stuff, and this show in particular is very surface level with its commentary on, how people view gay folks and everything like that. It's very surface level, and I can understand why if you weren't, you know, if you're just a new ally or you don't know how it's more nuanced than that, you probably be put off by this show. But if you are, you'd be like, oh, obviously this ain't. They're going to wrap this up at the end, and they did. Now I will say before I let y'all go, that whole "I'm not gay, but I'm gay for you" speech that pod oh my god Pod's character Ton said at the end, and gave Sodas, "I'm not gay, I just like him," which it can all be fine and dandy. That can be the case. I'm not saying that can't be the case. You could be identify straight, but then hey, now you bi-curious, now you with a man, and it's fine. Maybe that's the only guy you want to be with, and that's the only person that really rocked your world. That's fine. We don't need we don't need you to speak on it. We've seen so many shows like that. They always say this bullcrap. I'm not gay, just gay for him. That was unnecessary. Like why? Like why? Why? Tell me that's human nature. Tell me why. But yeah, I cannot wait to see your thoughts and opinions below. Do we align with mine? Like I said, I can't. This show was so fun, and so I really enjoyed this show. I can't. Y'all ride it for Ashanti and Fish Upon the Sky for what? This show is lit. I don't know. Y'all, let me know your thoughts and opinions. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. I'm sure I know what you're going to say about the commentary that the show had, but I'm curious. Let me know below, and I will see you guys in the next video.